Gareth Bale saves the Wales to frustrate the USMNT at Qatar 2022. Gareth Bale celebrated after scoring their team's equalizer at the Ahmad bin Ali Stadium. Ahmad bin Ali Stadium, Al Rayyan, Qatar, CNN. There was frustration for the United States men's national team in its opening game of Qatar 2022 as Gareth Bale scored a late penalty for Wales. The USMNT was dominant for much of the match, but as has so often been the case, it was LAFC star Bale who dug Wales out of the sticky situation as this Group B game ended 1-1. The 22-year-old Timothy Weah, son of the soccer great Georgie Weah, had put the US ahead in the first half with a fine finish. But this young US side, with the average age of 25 years and 175 days, was unable to maintain its dominance and allowed Wales to snatch a draw. There was no shortage of American fans inside the Ahmad bin Ali Stadium on Monday, and they made their voices heard, exchanging songs with the Welsh contingent behind the opposite goal. The familiar USA chant reverberatively around the venue on what was the welcome cool night in Doha for much of the match. It looked as though those fans would be celebrating a much deserved win. But just as all hope looked to have disappeared for Wales, Bale was clumsily brought down by Walker Zimmerman in the US box. There was then no doubt as Bale stepped up to fire his shot kick into the top corner of the net. He sent the Wales fans behind the goal into a frenzy, and it was Bale's name being sung the loudest at the final whistle. He has never let us down, Wales manager Rob Page said of Bale after the game. The moment Bale was brought down by Walker Zimmerman, Wales playing in its first World Cup match since 1958 seems to struggle with the occasion in the first half, and even Bale had looked up the pace until his goal. But the USMNT's so-called golden generation showed the touch of naivety. naivety. The team has a real opportunity to shine in Qatar 2022, but will need to quickly learn the lessons from this match before facing a much stunner test against England on Friday. What was most surprising was its drop off in performance after the half-time interval. The US passed with intensity in the opening 25 minutes and limited Wales to few wasteful balls into the channels. US star Christian Pulisic looked lively and well, who was living his father's dream by playing in the World Cup, looked to have scored the winner with a delicate finish with outside of his boot. But a change of shape from the Wales seems to surprise the young US players who weren't able to adapt to the more direct approach from their experienced opponent. Walking into the locker room after the game, we could see the disappointment on their faces. US head coach Greg Berhalter told the reporters after the game, "We got the beat sloppy with the ball in the second half. We had control in the first half." He added, "Even when we're winning, we are thinking about how we could close out the game, but it didn't happen. Players are disappointed, staff are disappointed. A draw for both teams is not the end of the world and still leaves the qualification into the knockout stages a real possibility. Meanwhile, Group A late goals from Cody Gakpo and Davy Klaassen gave Holland a 2-0 win over Senegal at the Al Tumama Stadium. Holland win put Luis Van Gaal's team joint top of the group with Ecuador, who beat Qatar 2-0 on Sunday.